Washington State.
The Cougars post gaudy numbers for a second straight week behind the strong and accurate arm of Marshall Lobestall.
Lobestall to the end zone. Touchdown, Jared Carstetter.
That sets up a showdown of two 2-0 teams this week, both of which boast some of the best offensive elements in the country. The tide is turning on the police. Are you ready to jump aboard? We've got you covered from start to finish on this week's edition of Cougars All Access, and it starts right now.
One-handed catch, Marquise Wilson.
Jeff Toole will watch from the sidelines for another few weeks, but we'll dive into the impact he's still making on the Cougs. See the change that takes place when Sokopi Kafusi lets his hair down on game day. And we once again get a look at life with a trio of Cougs: Toole, Gino Simone, and Nolan Washington. You won't want to miss another humorous exchange with these guys. But first, it's a closer look at the incredible numbers posted by the Cougs in the first couple weeks of the season. From the first series of the game, the Cougs appeared in control, scoring on their first drive for the second straight week. The Cougs won easily, but didn't take their foot off the gas, racking up 610 yards of total offense en route to a 59-7 win. The score means the Cougs rank #1 in the country in scoring offense, a sure sign the program is turning the corner in Pullman. They'll face an opponent this week that posted baffling numbers in a win last week. Get ready to run, Ricky Galvin. San Diego State allowed 403 rushing yards against Army, but the Aztecs still found a way to win. The Cougs will need to continue their all-around attack, churning out yards on the ground and spreading the passing around to their able bevy of receivers. Marshall Lobestall and Connor Holliday combined to hit 11 different targets against UNLV, and 6 Cougars caught touchdown passes.
Touchdown, Cougars!
Lobestall deserves high praise for his efforts. The senior quarterback had thrown just 7 touchdowns during his entire college career heading into the season. He's matched that total in just 2 games and set a career high with 361 passing yards against the Rebels. The potent offense should be able to score points against San Diego State, but the Cougs need to take advantage of all the opportunities this week. The Aztecs have given up massive amounts of yardage, but are still 2-0 this season. The key for the Cougs defense, slowing down the second-best running back in the country, Ronnie Hillman, who averages 153 yards a game. The D-line proved stout in the first 2 weeks. Last week, they allowed just 158 yards of total offense, the fewest allowed since 2004. The Cougs' pass rush appears faster, and they'll be counted on to force turnovers, something the Aztecs haven't done this season. In fact, San Diego State has played turnover-free ball for 3 straight games dating back to the Poinsettia Bowl. Stronger offensive line this year. In fact, the O-line is a big reason the Cougs have scored a combined 123 points in their first 2 games, the most points in a 2-game span since 1907. The quarterbacks have had plenty of time to throw, and the running backs have gashed opposing defenses for a total of 428 yards in those games. Those numbers are a far cry from the last few years when the Cougs have struggled through the growing pains of developing young line players. Perseverance is now paying off.
They're coming along, and it's a work in progress, but I say that in a really good way because the talent is there. They got to continue to work on their toughness and their execution and continuity together, and they're doing all those things. We just got to keep grinding through these practices.
The improvement is already evident this season. The offensive line allowed more than 50 sacks each of the last 2 years, while the ground game managed just 2.5 yards a carry. The numbers are the result of a number of different factors, but they haven't been ignored by the linemen themselves.
The running game's always been a focus for us, and I feel like we're clicking right now. And having a group of seasoned veterans up front has really helped us because we're helping out the younger guys, which they're coming along with us. So that allows us to get better because there's competition. And I just feel like we're heading in the right direction right now.
I think we got a lot of veteran guys on the line. We got really good shifty running backs, and I think they know how to find the hole and, shoot it up.
The Cougs' crop of running backs are built around speed. That was evident in the first game against Idaho State. Give them an inch and they'll take a mile or at least several yards. They're quick to praise the effort of the offensive linemen.
I just tell them good job because they're really on their grind. Yeah, so they got everything really down packed. So right now I'm just trying to, figure out like the fronts, and the timing with everything.
It comes back to effort and playing hard all the time and giving full effort all the time, and that always pays dividends. Ultimately, some extra big plays will be made by somebody giving that extra effort, and so we got to make sure we're playing at a high clip and our effort is at a high level.
As a standout lineman at Washington State, Wolf knows the importance of being strong in the trenches and building a solid foundation for the offense. It's been a work in progress since he took over 3 years ago, and the Cougs are finally seeing the payoff.
The push we're getting up front is great. We're starting to just pound the rock, really just run it up inside, get good push. Our pad level's good, and it's going to lead to a lot of good things, open up the passing game as well.
Touchdown, Washington State.
Paul Wolf and the Cougs plan to have Jeff Toole under center and behind that offensive line this year, but an injury week 1 against Idaho State put those plans on hold. Toole won't see any game action for at least a month and maybe more. His name won't show up in the final stats, but you can bet he'll still have an impact on game day. He spent the last 2 seasons preparing the Cougs at practice.
Jeff, he's an unbelievable quarterback. I feel he's one of the best in the Pac-12 for sure. And I feel he gets us ready every day, Reading off him is going to help us in the game to be even more prepared.
Underrated across the conference and unheralded among quarterbacks nationally, the Cougs know the talent they saw every day at practice. The offense benefited directly from Toole's leadership, but the defense also reaped rewards.
Jeff Toole is among the top quarterbacks. He's my number 1 pick for quarterback in the Pac-12. Obviously a bold statement, but regardless of that, it gives us an advantage because he's a very smart quarterback as well as, a dual threat to either run or pass. So it makes us prepare for all aspects of the game on defense.
Each member of the defense will attest to the skill Toole showed in practice every day. You can bet he'll still play a significant role in the Cougs' game day preparations, just in a different role.
Jeff is a great leader, so if I'm lost on anything or if anybody's out of place, he's willing to help you. He's willing to stay after practice if that's what it takes to get you to understand what's going on or what you need to do.
As for the quarterback taking over the reins, he's no stranger to character-building experiences. Marshall Lobestall blew out his knee after winning the starting job as a redshirt freshman. He's seen his ups and downs in Pullman, grown through the process, and will use all of those experiences to pick up where Toole leaves off.
Touchdown, Cougars. Trump in motion, sets up right side. Anselin hit behind the line. Jacoby Kafusi from that weak side linebacker spot. What a job by the redshirt freshman.
It's not hard for fans to spot Jacoby Kafusi on the field. The hair usually gives him away.
His hair comes down below his waist. It covers his number when he lets it down. He's
hoping opposing teams see him just as much this season now that he's back to his preferred position of linebacker.
It's like a dream come true again. I just get to run around, fly around, just make plays whenever I can.
A linebacker by nature, Kafusi spent time on the D-line last year after injuries took a toll and left the Cougs thin at defensive end.
He's a great teammate, and he's a smart kid, and he can make plays. He's a big, rangy guy that runs well, and he's a 6'3", 235, 40-pound linebacker, and he always seems to be around the ball making plays. And he's so far, he's done a really fine job.
Kafusi still established himself as a force to be reckoned with, racking up 22 tackles, 2 sacks, and a fumble recovery. His talent is evident. So is his intensity and his long, free-flowing locks, which is more than a coincidence, according to his teammates.
The way I see it is, he practices with hair all the time in practice, and that's, kind of a controlled, he's in a controlled mode, but once he lets it down, that's a symbol for his game time, let's go.
And that hair brings a whole other attitude to him. I love him when he takes his hair down.
Now I know that he's serious on game day and not mess with him.
Jacoby hasn't cut his hair since 8th grade and has no plans to sit in a barber chair anytime soon, even though it can be a hassle on game day.
Oh yeah, it does. Every time I come down into the box, the linemen are pulling my hair, or DBs, or receivers are pulling my hair, trying to throw me off my game.
There's a good chance it gets in the way when playing with his 2-year-old son, Ziggy, as well. The little bundle of energy keeps Kafusi busy, grounded, and humbled.
I don't even know how to explain. It's just, I feel that all parents know what, once you become a parent, then you understand,
that's you. That's my little boy. That's something that I'm working for, and all I want is just for him to be happy. I bring him into the locker room every day. After practice, like he's always around. He's always running around. He knows how to get in the stance.
Seems like a given that Ziggy will follow his father onto the football field one day, and a certainty that he will continue to provide inspiration and motivation. The hair, here's what Sokopi's teammates are saying.
Who has better hair, you or him?
I mean, it's him. No question. No question. I mean, his hair comes down like below his waist. It covers his number when he lets it down.
Any chance that you're growing yours out too?
I grew it out actually. I had a little afro going, but I had to cut it. It was getting too hot.
Is there some sort of secret power?
I mean, in the Bible it say that, oh, the man with the long hair, that's where your power come from. And I mean, I feel it.
I want a hair like that, to tell you the truth. No, I'm playing. I'm playing.
Cougars ride a hot streak into this week's game against San Diego State. After 2 games, the offense is averaging 600 yards a game, which ranks 4th in the country. The defense has posted first-half shutouts in back-to-back games. Now, the Cougs have cut their teeth on rebuilding teams, but there's more to it than that.
There's a lot more chemistry on this team. Guys were really close during the summer. We regularly, did our skelly and individual workouts. Even when we weren't doing skelly early on in the summer, we were doing individual position work. And I think another factor that ties into that is leadership.
We've come a long ways, and they continue to mature and grow, and they're just working more together as a football team. And it's called continuity, and we have that. We have guys that are familiar with each other. We have guys that like each other. So we're developing a great team and some chemistry here. And we're not done at all, but we surely are way further along.
The Cougars are a more mature team than fans have seen in the last couple of years. The veteran players are coming into their own and taking on a larger role.
I would say so. I feel like that's one of my strong qualities is leadership. I've always liked, not necessarily being in the spotlight, but taking control and being able to say, you know what, I know the right way to do this thing, so just follow me.
In addition to his leadership on the field, Alex Hoffman-Ellis organized and coordinated barbecues, board game and video game tournaments for the athletes and other members of the student body.
I mean, it's good just getting the team together and just building that team chemistry that we really need to get better on the field and off the field. I mean, it's a great step to get everybody together and just have fun with each other.
The extracurricular activities might seem like just a way to step away from the game and clear their heads, but there's more to it. The efforts of Hoffman-Ellis help build trust, rapport, and communication skills that directly translate to game day. Increased comfort level with each other means more solid play on Saturdays.
It just kind of lets everyone know we're on the same page. There's a little less confusion, which really just helps out the scheme and everything. But that's a key. You got to communicate, and without communication, a play can fall apart like that just easily.
I think it's critical. If you're going to have a great team with great chemistry, people that trust each other and love each other, the more they can be around each other, the better. That's what makes our place unique.
One to the right, 2 to the left. Here's the handoff up the middle. Big hole. There goes Galvin. He's at the 30, at the 25, the 15, the 10, the 5 goal line. Touchdown, Washington State. Globestall. Back he goes. Throws left side. Man out there. One-handed catch. Marquise Wilson. Snap fake in the backfield. Back he goes. Throws right side. Man open. Caught it. Touchdown. Andre Lentz, Washington State. Here's a handoff and a hit in the backfield. Back he goes. Going to try and run out. He's not going to get out. Globestall to the end zone to Wilson. Leaping catch. Touchdown, Washington State. Marquise Wilson takes the snap, hands to the running back, and it's not loose. Ball is on the ground. Cougars after it. Cougars have it. Globestall, handoff fake, throws the ball. Carstetter, a two-handed grab. Quick drop, quick throw to the right side, quick reception, and he's gone. Pushed off with a touchdown, Washington State.
Strong.
Dude.
Oh my goodness.